unsure whether we can live up to such high expectations.
Hearing your explanation has, at the very least, cleared up many of the doubts I've had up to this point.
Class 7 does seem like an ideal environment to expand one's outlook on life.
I feel like going through everything we have so far has brought us closer to doing exactly that.
Yep.
Marvelous. I'm so pleased to hear it. Just listening to you makes me feel even more certain that establishing Class 7 was the right decision. Especially since while the idea itself was mine, I have no real say in how the class is run day to day. Even so, I still hope to meet all of you at least once, if only to tell you all this. That was when Alphen stepped in and offered to set up this little meeting.
I see.
Well, I could hardly refuse such a sincere request from my brother. But it also presented me a fine chance to finally meet Elise's beloved brother, as I've always wanted to. Your Highness!
Thank you for taking the time to tell us all of this, Your Highness. I feel like now that I know, I want to live up to the promise you... Thing is, am I right in assuming that Class 7 doesn't exist just to fulfill your progressive idea?
What do you...
Oh?
The board has its chairman, of course, but 3 directors besides. My older brother Rufus, Imperial Governor Karl Regnitz, and Irina Reinford of the Reinford Group.
Oh, yeah.
Now that you mention it,
They do seem to have certain expectations for us.
Precisely. As I mentioned, I no longer have anything to do with how Class 7 is run. That authority lies with the directors. As you're keenly aware, Rufus and Governor Regnitz sit on opposite sides of the factional divide. And while Chairman Irina is mostly involved with Class 7's technology, like the Arcus, her intentions are a mystery to me. And it's those 3 who decide where you'll travel for your field studies.
Is that right?
When you put it that way, it does make it seem like some kind of bargaining is taking place behind the scenes.
It was one of the conditions they gave in exchange for allowing Class 7 to be established. I'll admit, I hesitated to allow it, but I decided to place my hopes in you. We believed then, as we still do, that one day you all will be a great light that can push back the darkness of this country. Well, I suppose when I put it that way, it sounds positively heroic. But that's just me. Don't feel too pressured by it. Your students, first and foremost. Reach out, join a club, eat cheap food with your friends at midnight, fall in love. We live but once.
You know, it's weird, but hearing you say that kind of takes a load off my mind.
By the way, just earlier you said that we believed the Class 7 would be a great... Is there someone else involved with Thors who shares your vision for our class, Your Highness?
There is. Principal Van Dyke. I once attended Thors myself and studied under him. He gave my proposal to establish Class 7 his full backing.
I see.
He's been particularly considerate toward us ever since we arrived at the Academy.
While he has no direct control over the running of the Academy, he does preside over the board meetings. And above all, he's the one who assembled an excellent team to give you first-rate training.
An excellent team, you say?
Are you referring to Instructor Sarah?
Well, she's certainly one of them. Still, coaxing her away from her former line of work certainly played a large part in giving Class 7 a great foundation. She is, after all, one of the strongest people in the Empire, and her experience makes her...
Wait, what?
Instructor Sarah? One of the...
Exactly what experience might you be referring to?
I've even heard rumors of her daring exploits myself. She was known as the Purple Lightning. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Wait, Purple Lightning?
I knew it!
If you two have heard of it, it must be a household name.
That's right, though I've just heard it in passing.
Ah, that young ace of the Erebonian Bracer Guild, and one of the Empire's most famous bracers. She has a history full of brave feats and dangerous deeds. She was even the youngest bracer to... Back then, she was known as the Purple Lightning. Now, you know her simply as your...